My 10 biggest surprises in fragrance coming right up in this video. I think this one's going to be very interesting because this year has been surprising for me personally. Not only because of things like I started wearing the original 1 million again, and I was surprised at how different it is than I remembered it. There's freshness in the opening, there's a lot of sweetness in the dry down, but nothing compared to some of the modern sweet fragrances today. Or another example would be how many guys, even in their 50s, who are wearing Invictus, that I complimented this year. 3 times I told somebody, man, what are you wearing? That smells amazing. And they were wearing the original Invictus. Many times I can pick it out, but because of skin chemistry and a lot of other factors, a couple of the times I didn't know it was Invictus. I just thought this dude smells good. So those things are surprising in a way. But I want to talk about clone fragrances that have blown me away. I never would have expected these things, and I want to let you know all about them. But before we get going, please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done that, and give the video a like as well if you get something out of it. And also let me know down in the comments, what have been some of your biggest surprises in fragrance or in clones in 2023? All right, here we go. First off, this is a category that I want to mention a few fragrances in, and that would be Maison Alhambra cheapies. I have been blown away that a lot of the time on Amazon, you can get some absolutely mind-blowing clone fragrances from Maison Alhambra, a very significant, well-known, respected brand. You can get these for less than $20, which is insane. So, for instance, this is a great clone of African leather, Memo's African leather. It's Maison Alhambra Afro leather. Now, this one is not as necessarily complex or rich as the Memo, a $200 to $300 fragrance. There's a texture with the Memo that I don't get with this one. But the fragrance profile, and as far as what you smell in the air, you've got leather, slightly animalic, a touch of oud, and some sweet spiciness that is gorgeous. In the air, I don't think you could tell the difference between this and the Memo, and this is about I think, $18 fragrance. Another one, this is a clone of Invictus Victory, one of the best Invictus fragrances in my opinion. This is Maison Alhambra's Victorioso Victory. Now mine says Nero, that's because it's from a different region where they're labeling it that, but this is Victorioso Victory. You know, it's a slightly spiced vanilla rich fragrance with some texture. There's some resins. It's just a very interesting fragrance, but again, this thing right here was less than $20. And it is a great clone of Invictus Victory. Another one that was right around that $18 mark. This is a clone of Parfums de Marly Herod. This is, by this point, kind of well known. This is Maison Alhambra Hercules. And now this fragrance, again, is less than $20 right now, fragrancebuy.ca, I believe even on Amazon. This is, again, certainly not as rich or complex or even as textured, again, as the Parfums de Marly. But for less than $20, this is probably an 85% similar clone of a killer $200+ fragrance. And you can pick it up from Maison Alhambra for cheap. So that's a category, Maison Alhambra super cheapies. Another category would be, did you expect or were you surprised by the Fomo fragrance company? This is a collaboration with fragrancebuy.ca. Inexpensive, amazing clone fragrances of very desirable fragrances such as Roja Parfum's Elysium. This is Fomo's A Fraghead's Asylum. It's an amazing clone of Elysium. I have too many clones of Elysium. This one may be my favorite. Before that, it was probably still Alexandria Zion. This one's right in between Alexandria Zion and something like Fragrance World's Imperium. But this thing is an extrait de parfum, which all of Fomo's fragrances are, which means it performs amazing. I'll talk more about this fragrance in future videos, but I was not expecting this. I am surprised. Fomo also came out with their clone of Dior Parfum, Dior Homme Parfum, that I don't even know of a clone other than maybe Dua or Alexandria. And this is like a $30, $32 clone of Dior Homme Parfum, and it's really good. This is Fomo Gary's Den, $32 extrait de parfum clone of Dior Homme Parfum. I was not expecting that. I mean, the build quality on these bottles is great. The fragrance profiles are right on. They're extrait, so they got great performance. That's very impressive. Another category I would say is just fragrance world in general surprised me this year in a lot of ways. For instance, I was very surprised to see their clone of Fahrenheit Le Parfum, Dior Fahrenheit Parfum. They have, of course, Renheit Le Parfum. It looks identical. I guess I could add to the category of surprises. I'm surprised Fragrance World isn't being sued. This is a great clone of a fragrance that I wanted for a long time. I finally picked it up, and just a month later, this came out. So I bought both of them, and it's great. It's in that 90%, similar category. Some of the high points of the Dior, the quality is unmatched, of course, with Fragrance World, but for $32 on Fragrance Buy, absolutely shocking. Another surprise, I've been asking for a clone of Spice Bomb Extreme for years, and here we go from Fragrance World, Marc and Victor Eau de Spice Extreme, and it is a very good, great performing, more synthetic version of Spice Bomb Extreme. The quality it does not match the actual Spice Bomb Extreme, but in the air, you would be hard-pressed to tell them apart, and this thing performs great, just like the original Spice Bomb Extreme does on my skin. So this is another big surprise for me. One that I was surprised just because I wasn't really that interested in the original, but whenever I saw this on Amazon for like, I don't know, $19 or something, I had to pick it up. This is Intro Aftermath. This is, of course, Initio's Side Effect. I have been blown away by this fragrance. It's gorgeous. It is rum and cinnamon and vanilla. It's got a touch of oud saffron, like the Initio Oud for Greatness that everybody's familiar with. This is one of the highest smelling, ultra cheapy fragrances, highest quality ultra cheapies that I've picked up. It is gorgeous. I've been wearing it almost every day, every other day for the past couple weeks. It's awesome. Okay, another one I just wasn't expecting. This is a clone of a designer from Fragrance World, and it is so gorgeous. It's powerful. It's so very well done. This is a clone of 1 Million Elixir, and this is AlReE. And it's so good. It's a vanilla rose fragrance. It kind of reminds me of vanilla bubblegum, the way that rose comes across. Of course, there's other notes as well, but I just wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting it to be so good and to perform so well. AlReE by Fragrance World. All right, I think this next one is number 10. It's another one of these fragrances that I wanted a clone of for a long time, but I wasn't really expecting it. This is a clone of one of the Guerlain Ideal Homme fragrances. There's so many descriptors there, I probably got it wrong, but this is Supreme Lom Extreme. This is Guerlain Ideal Extreme, and it is so good. It's this, beautiful, rich, woodsy fragrance. It's very well done. It performs very well. And again, I have the EDP of Ideal. I've tried some of the others, and the Extreme was hard to get and one that I hadn't picked up yet. And I was just surprised to see Fragrance World come out with this. So You know, it's been a surprising year. I would say this has been the most surprising year in fragrances since I've been in the hobby for around 25, 30 years or something like that. I've definitely accelerated the last 2 or 3 years, but what a surprising year. I want to know, what were your biggest surprises down in the comments? What were some of your favorite or most surprising clones? And again, remember to subscribe to the channel. And please give the video a like if you liked it. I'm Justin. This is See Our Sense.